Hey guys, this week we're going to be working on this rose gold drip cake. I'm making a 7-inch cake, so I've got my 7-inch drum, and then I've got a piece of foam core which I've cut smaller to 6-inch. This is going to be placed halfway up the cake to add stability due to it being a taller than average tier. Stick your first cake to your drum using ganache. I'm using white chocolate ganache, and there is a full tutorial on how to make that below. There is also a tutorial on how to make vanilla cake. Stack and fill your cakes until you're halfway up. In this case, mine is 3 layers. Add in straws and then cut them to the same height as your sponge. Then add either ganache or buttercream to stick your foam core circle down. As you can see, anything sitting on this card is now supported by the straws and it won't squash the cake underneath. Continue filling and stacking until you've used all your layers. I'm using my trusty Pro Froster, but any straight scraper will do. Hold your scraper up against the cake drum and check that there is no cake touching the scraper. If there is, give it a trim so it leaves a nice gap. The gap will be filled with ganache and it will leave your sides nice and straight. Any cake hanging out will ruin the finish. Now coat the whole thing in a thin layer of white ganache. A chocolate orange cake was requested, so you want to make sure all those dark crumbs are sealed in and they don't make their way onto the final coat. Go around with your Pro Froster and make sure there isn't any ganache overhanging. You want room for your final layer to go on. We are going to be adding this little bottle of Prosecco. You will want to make sure that your customer supplies this, as I'm pretty sure not many cake makers will have a license to sell alcohol. If you want to add any mini alcohol bottles to your cakes, the easiest way is to get your client to buy them and drop them off. I'm placing the bottle on the top of the cake where I want it to go and cutting a guide with my knife. Then I'm digging down 1 layer of cake at a time and removing the insides. I've roughly removed 2 layers of cake and it fits exactly where I want it. Remove the bottle, clean it up and then add ganache all to the inside of your cutout to seal the cake in. Once it's all sealed, let that coat set. Now I'm adding my second layer of ganache. Go around with your scraper and keep filling in any holes that are not yet level. Remember, this is white ganache and not buttercream. Ganache sets a lot firmer and in my opinion it's much safer for travelling and holding that bottle in place. Keep going until it's as smooth as you can get it. You can even heat up a metal scraper and do a final sweep to smooth it out. The heat will slightly melt the chocolate and get rid of any lines. Don't worry too much about the top, as this is going to be filled with goodies. Now it's all set, we're going to cover the drum. I'm using pink sugar paste and the full tutorial for this toilet seat method I'm using will be linked below. We're covering this first, just in case any drips come right down to the bottom. Here I've heated up some remaining white ganache in a bowl. You can see it's a little blobby rather than runny, so I'm just adding a little touch more cream and stirring it in to thin it out. Now you can see it runs off the spoon a little easier. I'm going to colour mine baby pink with this fractal gel. You only need a tiny drop. You can either drip this on with the spoon, pop it in a piping bag, or I've put mine in a squeezy bottle. Go around varying the length of your squeezes to create different lengths of drips. Because we've covered the board, if any reach the bottom, that's fine. Then add the remaining ganache to the top. I didn't quite have enough, but it's fine. You're not going to see any of it when it's finished. Now slowly twist your bottle into place. The ganache holds it really well. If you want to add sprinkles to your drip, you can do this now. I'm using little pearl luster dragees. Lindor do little pink chocolates that are strawberry and cream flavour. I've kept some in their wrappers and I've popped some open ones into a bowl. Then I'm taking some metallic ginger glow by Rainbow Dust, tipping this in and swirling it with a soft fluffy brush to give them a nice shimmery rose gold sheen. Other topper ideas are pink party rings and mini flumps. I also have this rose gold glitter topper that I got from eBay. Everything I use will be linked below. Now I have a piping bag full of pink buttercream with the Wilton 1M nozzle, and a bag full of white buttercream with a slightly different shaped nozzle on it just to use for variation. I have added white fractal gel colour to my buttercream to make it a little less yellow. Squeeze various size swirls and stars all over the top, switching between your white and pink bags. Once you've almost filled the top, you can then start adding your toppers in place. Just keep adding them until it looks nice. I also covered some of the pearl dragées with the ginger glow and added these to the drips. Now go around the bottom with your buttercream. There is no pattern to this, I just make small and large star shapes and fill them with chocolates and sweets. As a final extra, you can give it a nice glitter effect with Sugar Flare Powder Puff Glitter Dust in white. This will not only make your cake sparkle, but also your entire kitchen. You can see the little flecks dancing against my worktop. And we're done. This is a pretty easy cake to put together as there's no modelling or fondant work involved. These are the types of cakes you can go to when somebody needs one last minute. Hope you enjoyed this girly rose gold and pink drip cake. Be sure to leave me a comment below and hit the subscribe button to see more tutorials every Tuesday. Thanks guys, see you next week.